Hi guys, Mrs. Russell here. I hope everyone is doing well this week. This week we are going to be talking about 5.9c, changes in ecosystems. So the first week we talked about interdependency, how living and non-living things depend on each other in an ecosystem. Last week we talked about food webs, and I'm sure you can all see in your food webs that if anything were to happen to any of those chains, it could affect the entire web. Just like if anything happens within the chain. For example, we had a major drought and all the producers died off. What's going to happen to the consumers who depended on them? If they're not around, then what about the consumers who depended on those consumers? So as you can see, it's all a very delicate balance in nature. So this week you're going to be reading in your yellow STEMscopes book. You're going to start on page 83 and read about environmental changes. Then you can either on paper or in the Google Forms answer the 3 questions that have situations about changes in the environment and tell me what you think would happen. 3 questions in the Google form attached in the newsletter. If you would like, you can also write it on a piece of paper and take a picture and submit it to me that way, but you don't need to do both. Your first question: if a new stadium was built on land that used to be a forest, what sort of changes to the environment do you predict might happen? What's going to happen to the animals that inhabited that area before the forest was removed? 2. What sort of changes to a pond environment could occur if the weather changed to much colder and rainier than normal? So imagine this used to be a warm pond with lots of grass and trees. Now it's colder than normal. What do you think is going to happen? And your last question: the mountain pine beetle is a destructive insect pest that kills many trees and forests during an outbreak. Looking at the image here, notice the brown trees that have been affected by the mountain pine beetle. Describe all of the effects to the forest ecosystem and the organisms that live there that you predict might happen during a mountain pine beetle population outbreak. So as you can see, the trees that are brown have already been infected, but there's still a lot of green trees. What's going to happen to them and the animals that inhabit them during a mountain pine beetle population outbreak? So you can answer your questions in here, click submit, or again, write them on a piece of paper, take a picture and submit it that way through either ClassDojo or email. Have a great day. So guys, that's your assignment for this week. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Also, you can